You wonder if this thin foil blanket actually works. I put Mark Cobra's 4-pack to the real test. Here are the top 5 things to know before you buy it. Number 5 thing you should know before buying this emergency blanket. Most people buy a blanket like this only thinking about staying warm. But the brand built this for a second job too. A pack and list 5 uses, and one is simple: be seen by being found. The silvery shiny side reflects light hard enough to double as a rescue signal. I laid it out on my driveway at dusk to see how far it actually caught the porch light, and it lit up like a mirror from the end of the block. If you break it down on the back road at night, the detail you don't think about until you need it. Number 4 gets more honest about what you're actually buying. Here's the part nobody puts in the photos. The brand lists the material as 1/100th of a millimeter thick, thinner than a sheet of paper. Each blanket comes sealed on its own porch, in its own pouch, nice for grab and pass. But the thinner means you treat it with some respect. Care instructions say hand wash only, and after unfolding mine a few times, I get why. A few reviewers of this blanket said the same thing. It feels thin out of the pocket, almost too thin to trust. One buyer said they keep 2 hands on it instead of one for anything serious. Worth knowing before you toss one in your bag and call it done. Number 3 is where the thin material actually surprised me. And they did send this as a gift a while back. I've been carrying around and using them ever since. I love them. I think you'll love them too. Add them to your cart now. All right, number 3 thing you should know before buying this. The thinness had me expecting this thing to rip a second I touched it. I grabbed the corner, pulled hard, and it held. That lines up with other buyers too. One person tried to tear the blanket open on purpose to test it and said it wouldn't, just as tough as brands that cost more. The brand backs this up, listing the material as tear resistant and reusable. I folded mine back up and used it twice now without one crease turning into a tear. For something this thin, this beats my expectation. Number 2 is the one most people never see coming. The title actually tells you something true here. It's called a warming a cat, and that's not marketing filler. One reviewer lined an outdoor shelter built for feral cats to keep them warm through the rough winter. Another buyer lined the closet with a few during the power outage and said the room stayed noticeably warmer overnight. I never would have used mine for anything past a backpack or a car until I read that. My neighbor borrowed one last winter to line a doghouse, and he still hasn't given it back. Now, number 1 changed my mind about the whole category, so stick around because also I got a bonus tip nobody warns you about. Right, number 1 thing you should know before buying these, and this one got me. The brand says the material retains up to 90% of your body heat, and the whole 4-pack weighs about 7 ounces, lighter than most phone chargers. I was skeptical, so I wrapped up in mine cold night in the garage while I finished a project, and I stayed warm longer than I expected from something this thin. It's not a replacement for a real sleeping bag and wouldn't camp overnight relying on just this, but for a stalled car, a power outage, or padding first aid kit, it does what it claims. It's ranked in the top 5 camping emergency blankets on Amazon, and the brand says over 2,000 people bought this exact pack last month. That kind of demand doesn't happen by accident. Once I felt how much heat it held onto, I started keeping it in every bag I own. Now wait for the bonus to answer this question everyone asks the first time they feel how thin this is. A bonus tip: if you end up with extras, you probably will since these come in a 4-pack. Don't let them sit in a drawer. The brand markets bulk versions at the same blanket for homeless care packages, and one reviewer said they buy these regularly, hand out during cold snaps in the city. It costs you almost nothing to keep a couple in your car and a couple more to hand off to someone who needs it. Now, if any of this sounds like something you actually use, go ahead and add this to your cart now and thank me later. All right, as always, remember 2 things here, guys. Number 1, bills fade, so go ahead and add this to your cart now. Number 2, the product bro is always here for you.